The rain came down in long, cold streaks that slashed against the soldier's face as he trudged through the thick forest mud. His name was Sergeant Cole Anders, a man hardened by years of service and scarred by too many silent battles. But this mission, this one, felt different. It wasn't a war against men. It was a war against nature itself. He'd been sent alone into the Black Pine Woods, a place that even the locals refused to enter after sunset. Rumors whispered through the nearby village. Monstrous bears that walked upright like men, their eyes glowing red in the dark, their growls echoing like thunder through the trees. At first, Cole had laughed it off. Bears were bears. Dangerous, sure, but not supernatural. Still, when the commander handed him the orders and said, "Find out what's killing the men who wander there," Cole had felt a quiet unease settle deep in his gut. He reached the edge of the forest just as twilight began to fall, painting the world in shades of deep blue and gray. The trees towered over him, their trunks wide and ancient, their branches twisting like skeletal fingers across the sky. Every sound, the crack of a branch, the rustle of leaves, seemed magnified. Cole tightened his grip on his rifle and stepped in. The first few hours were uneventful, though unsettling. He found claw marks deep in the trees, wider than anything a normal bear could make. Patches of fur, thick and black, clung to branches. Bones, human bones, were scattered near a stream, picked clean. He crouched beside them, studying the remains. The bones weren't just broken. They were crushed, as if by enormous jaws. Night fell faster than he expected. The forest seemed to come alive with movement, unseen but always close. His flashlight beam cut through the mist in narrow slices, catching glimpses of eyes staring back at him from the dark. They disappeared as soon as the light found them. By midnight, Cole had set up a small camp in a hollow between two giant oaks. He kept his rifle across his knees and the fire small. The woods were silent now, too silent. No birds, no crickets, not even the whisper of wind. Just a thick, heavy stillness. Then came the sound. A deep growl, low and resonant, vibrating through the ground. Cole froze. His hand went instinctively to the trigger. The growl came again, closer this time. Then another joined it, and another. He shone his flashlight toward the sound, and what he saw made his blood turn cold. 3 bears stood at the edge of the clearing, their fur matted with dirt and blood. But these weren't ordinary bears. They were massive, easily 10 feet tall, with shoulders broad as boulders and eyes that burned with a dim, unnatural red glow. Their teeth glistened wetly in the firelight, and worse, they didn't move like animals. They stood upright. They watched him. Cole fired a warning shot into the air. The sound echoed through the trees, but the creatures didn't flinch. Instead, the largest one tilted its head, almost curiously, and then let out a roar that shook the ground. Cole ran. He didn't think, didn't look back. His boots pounded against the wet earth as the forest erupted in chaos. Snapping branches, crashing footsteps, and the thunderous growls of pursuit. He zigzagged through the trees, ducking low branches, leaping over roots. Behind him, one of the beasts slammed into a tree, splintering it in half. Bark flew like shrapnel. He reached a narrow ravine and slid down the muddy slope, crashing into the cold water below. The current pulled at him, but he crawled onto the far bank, panting, his heart hammering like a drum. For a moment, all was quiet again. Then he heard it. The sound of claws scraping stone above him. He turned his flashlight upward. The biggest bear loomed at the top of the ravine, silhouetted against the moonlight. Its eyes burned through the darkness as it began to descend, one slow, deliberate step at a time. Cole raised his rifle and fired. The bullet hit its chest, but the creature barely staggered. He fired again and again until the clip clicked empty. The bear roared, a sound that seemed almost human in its rage. It lunged, but at that exact moment, the ground beneath it gave way, sending the beast tumbling into the ravine with a deafening crash. Cole scrambled back, slipping on wet rocks as the creature landed with a splash beside him. It was wounded now, but still alive, thrashing wildly. He saw his chance, grabbed a fallen branch, lit it from his torch, and drove the flaming end into the bear's face. The beast shrieked, a terrible, guttural scream, before retreating into the dark forest, leaving behind a trail of smoke and blood. Cole collapsed, trembling, his breath ragged. He had survived, for now. But as dawn crept through the trees, lighting the mist in soft gold, he realized something horrifying. There were more tracks, dozens of them. He looked around the forest, now strangely quiet again, and saw movement between the trees. Silhouettes too large to be human, too many to count. The mission report said only one line was found scrawled in Cole's field notebook, recovered weeks later near the ravine. Greater than, they're not bears. They're guarding something. And it's not the forest that's dangerous. It's what's beneath it. No one ever found Cole Anders' body. But sometimes, hikers in Black Pine Woods still report strange sounds in the night. Deep growls, heavy footsteps, and glowing red eyes watching from between the trees. And sometimes, the eyes are closer than they seem.